It's Queen City Confessions with Miguel and Holly. Hits 96.1.
If you want to get a confession off your chest and be anonymous with it, text it to us by putting the word hits with your message and send it to 96893.
Here's the first Queen City confession. I'm not proud of this, but for the last few weeks, I've been secretly recording my boss. Every time he goes on one of his rants, trashing his boss and the company, I hit record. I started doing it just in case I ever needed proof of the toxic stuff he says behind closed doors. Now I've got a whole folder of clips. And honestly, I'm not even sure what to do with them. Part of me feels shady, but the other part feels like I'm just covering myself if they fire me.
Okay, yeah, but is that legal? I'm not sure that's legal.
In North Carolina, it's a one person, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you're a legal person, but I Googled this one time.
Where's our judge friend?
Right? Rhonda, Judge Rhonda, where you at? But I do believe that if one person in yourself knows that you're recording, it's fine. But that
doesn't even make sense if one person knows.
Don't quote me on it because I'm not a legal expert, but I did Google it. So
oh my gosh.
So just be careful. Be careful.
All right. Yeah, just be careful. But also wow. That's all I have to say.
Judge Patterson, where you at? Here's another Queen City confession. I'm 27 and getting married next year to an amazing man. I love him with all of my heart, and I'm excited to spend the rest of my life with him. But there is this little part of me that feels like I'm missing out on something. I've always been curious about having an experience with another woman. It's something I've thought about for years, and now I can't shake the feeling that if I don't explore it before I get married, I'll regret it. Holly?
Well,
yeah.
How do you think your fiance would feel if you told him? Because that's the route of least resistance, right?
Right.
You tell your fiance, and then maybe he's like, "Hey, that's cool. Popcorn?" I don't know. But also if that would be very, very bad, I don't really know what you do with that. It's just a choice. Like if your fiance would not be cool with that at all, but you really, really want to marry him in all other aspects and every other thing of life. Sometimes you got to make a sacrifice when you want to get married. And the sacrifice is you're like, okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to put that one on the shelf.
Right. And I think understanding the difference between this is just a fun experience I want, as opposed to this is how I feel.
Right.
To me, that I don't want to make you feel bad, but as a gay person, it just kind of feels like, oh, I want to take a trip down gay lane and see what it feels like. And I'm like,
I want to take a vacation in gay town, but I don't want to live there. I just want to get an Airbnb and then go back to straight stuff.
Like, you got to figure out, you're like, there's something fun you want to do? Because then if it's just something fun you want to do, that's something that you can explore with your husband,
right?
You know, later on.
Be like maybe some, yeah, I agree. That.
Come on, gay town. All right, here's the last Queen City confession. And this is a little bit of a follow-up here from a confession from a while ago.
Oh, okay.
I had a thing with a coworker. Yes, I know you, Miguel and Holly, warned me not to do that.
Oh, no. You're like, well, I did it.
But it happened.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday, the coworker told me that he thinks we should step back. He gave me a bunch of excuses. None of them were my fault, but still said he wants us to stay friends. Honestly, I don't think that's a good idea. What really bothers me is that he didn't tell me any of this until I finally confronted him about why he'd been acting so distant the past few weeks. Instead of ghosting me, he should have just been honest from the start. Maybe then I would have considered still being friends, but now I'm not so sure.
I mean, it's awkward now because you work together, so it's not like you can't not at least be cordial.
Yeah.
These are the kind of, twisted webs that these entanglements bring. And you don't have to be friends.
No, you can just be cordial and coworkers and say hi in the hallway. And
that's all you need. Hey, that's all you need to do. I mean, that's a possibility, but I am sorry because it does hurt. It still hurts, And
this is why I always say, don't be dating people at the workplace, because if it goes sour, you have these awkward situations, and I feel so bad for you.
I know it does. It's unfortunate.
What confession do you need to get off your chest? Text HITS and that message to 96893. It is 7:14. All I can think about is Gay Town and taking a vacation there.
Take a vacation.
Now,
Needs a theme song.
it's Lady Gaga.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you ever had to send an email so savage that you had to hype yourself up first? If you missed it, that's what we had to do with Holly yesterday, because Holly had to basically threaten this business with legal action.
I did.
Is there an update? We got to find out next